Hey everybody, welcome back to Brainiac Baseball's 1969 Seattle Pilots What If scenario. Today's matchup features the Seattle Pilots versus the Baltimore Orioles at Memorial Stadium. On the mound for the Pilots today is Mudcat Grant, whose record is 1-0 with a 1.50 ERA. And pitching for the Orioles today is Dave McNally, whose record is 2-0 with a 3.22 ERA. And so we are on a 7-game winning streak in which we've thrown 27 consecutive scoreless innings. In fact, yesterday's game was our first real bid at a no-hitter in the 4+ seasons that we've done replays. So I took some time yesterday to try to think back over the Detroit Tigers season replays that we've been doing from 1980 through 1983. And I know that we had one close no-hit bid in there, but it's already escaped me. I can't remember who the pitcher was. But I have to say that I think Gene Broadbender's pitching performance yesterday, a one-hitter, almost a no-hitter into the 8th inning, in which he struck out 9 batters, that might be the best performance we've seen in the history of Brainiac Baseball doing these replays. So it's kind of miraculous that we're 9-3. And when I say miraculous, I also think I kind of mean unrealistic. So I know the tables will be turned eventually, but it's so much fun for me to be on a 7-game winning streak, to take our record from 2-3 to 9-3, and maybe be on the verge of sweeping the team that went to the World Series in 1969. So it's a lot of fun. May as well enjoy it while it lasts. That's my philosophy here. Before we get started with today's game, I just want to take a moment here to promote a good friend of mine's podcast. I've mentioned him before. It's been a while since I brought this up. My friend Pat Hazel, former Seinfeld writer, movie actor, magician, stand-up comedian. He was on Johnny Carson. He was on Jay Leno. He has his own podcast now. And this week he starts season 4, where he's interviewing the singer-artist Lisa Loeb. You might remember her. So season 4 starts today. I'm going to have the link to his podcast in the comments below. Okay, so if you enjoy listening to podcasts and listening to funny people talk, definitely give my good friend Pat Hazel's podcast a shot. Okay, let's go ahead and get started with today's game. As always, I appreciate everyone following along, like and or subscribe to the channel. We have Mudcat Grant on the mound today. He is making his second start since being traded over from the Expos. All of our bullpen is available because we had Broadbender go 8 innings and Ron Locke closed it out. So Mudcat Grant getting a second start. And here is our lineup versus Dave McNally. So this is back-to-back starts versus a left-hander. And so our lineup is the same as yesterday. Actually, you know what? I'm sorry. I didn't fix this. We're going to get Jerry McNertney back in there instead of Freddie Velasquez, who did get a hit yesterday. So we're moving McNertney up to the number 5 spot. My bad. Everybody else is good. Okay, let's go ahead and do the official lineup rundown for today's ball game. Batting leadoff in right field is Tommie Harper. Batting second at first base is Mike Hegan. Batting third at third base is Rich Rollins. Batting cleanup in left field is Tommie Agee. Batting fifth and catching is Jerry McNertney. Batting sixth in center field is Wayne Comer. Batting seventh at shortstop is Gordy Lund. Batting eighth at second base is Fred Stanley. And batting ninth is our pitcher, Jim Grant. On the mound for the Orioles is Dave McNally. This is a fascinating guy. I don't think I knew any of this stuff about him before. We're going to talk about him briefly here. Dave McNally, 3-time All-Star, 2-time World Series winner. In 1969, in real life, he went 20-7 with a 3.22 ERA, finishing 4th in the Cy Young Award. In 1970, he followed that up with a 24-9 season, again with a 3.22 ERA, and finishing 2nd in the Cy Young Award. He went to the All-Star game 3 out of 4 years in a row. Pretty much one of the best pitchers for the Orioles during this period, but they started to get an influx of young players, including Jim Palmer, and then Scott McGregor and Mike Flanagan were coming along in the minors. So at age 32 in 1975, the Orioles traded Dave McNally to Montreal for Kenny Singleton. That's how Singleton got to the Orioles. Now, he didn't initially want to play for the Expos. He's from Billings, Montana. His family was there, and he'd already opened up a couple of different automotive car selling companies in Billings, Montana, car dealerships. And so he was really considering at that age already retiring. But he went to Montreal, didn't pitch particularly well. He had an ERA over 5. He decided not to sign a contract with Montreal for another season. And in fact, he stood with Andy Messersmith to go against what the free agency contracts that were being allowed back at that time. So an arbitrator came in and declared that a player should be allowed to be a free agent without having to sign a one-year deal forcibly by the team that they are on. And that started the free agency period. That was back in 1975. He was also one of the more fascinating things about Dave McNally is toward the end of his career, he ended up missing 2 weeks of baseball in 1975 because he had a chronic hiccup issue. He had hiccups for 12 days in a row. After the 9th day, he ended up going to the hospital, and then it suddenly just went away. At age 55, he was diagnosed with cancer, and he passed away 5 years later at age 60 in 2002. So kind of an important figure in the history of baseball, especially with the free agent period that came along. So he is currently making his 4th start, 2-0 with a 3.32 ERA, 14 Ks in 19 innings pitched. Opponents are batting .250 against him. Fastball tops out at 89 miles an hour. Ground ball percentage is 48.4%. He's got 4 pitches, 2 of them above league average, including a curveball and a fastball. Overall rated an 85. The 26-year-old lefty will go to free agency in this game in 1971. Let's take a look at the defense. It is the same as the first 2 games of the series. And Tommie Harper leading off against Dave McNally. Harper 368, 3 home runs, leading the team in every category, including stolen bases. Here he pops up into foul territory on the first base side for out number 1. That will bring up Mike Hegan. As a lefty, you see his average dropping here. We've been starting him against left-handers, and he has been struggling as of late. A ground ball to first. There's out number 2. And that will bring up Rich Rollins with 2 down. And he flips it into center field where Dave May makes the catch. So we go to the bottom of the first inning. Let's go ahead and do the Orioles lineup rundown for today's game. Batting leadoff at shortstop is Jim Fregosi. Batting second and catching is Joe Torre. Batting third in right field is Frank Robinson. Batting cleanup at first base is Boog Powell. Batting fifth in left field is Willie Stargell. Batting sixth, playing second base, is Davey Johnson. Batting seventh at third base is Brooks Robinson. Batting eighth in center field is Dave May, and the pitcher Dave McNally is batting ninth today. Pitching for us is Jim Mudcat Grant. We talked about him in his first start. We'll take a look at what he's doing here so far. He pitched 6 innings in his first game, did not strike out anybody, so that would be nice if we can get a couple Ks on the board for him today. Overall, his fastball tops out at 89 miles an hour. It's the only good pitch he's got, rated at 83. 3 other pitches, all 3 below average. Overall rated a 78, the 33-year-old righty is a free agent at the end of the year. Potentially a trade candidate for us. And there's our defense. Same as yesterday. We've got some liabilities there at second base and in right field. And Jim Fregosi leading off against Mudcat Grant. Will the Orioles put it together today against us? There's the first K for Grant. So Grant strikes out Fregosi. 1 down. 27 innings in a row. We have not given up a run. And Torre ensures a base hit in the first. So no hit opportunities today. Torre on first. 1 down. Here is Frank Robinson. We're going to play straight away here. And a base hit up the middle. Oh boy. Here we go. Torre holds it second. First and second, 1 out. Boog Powell, left-handed hitter, batting .252 last year versus righties. Slices it to left, and it's off the wall for a hit, and there it is. The first run in 27 innings, a double for Powell. Frank Robinson on third. That is Powell's third double already. And we have to get out of this jam. It's second and third, 1 out. Here's Willie Stargell with 1 down. And a home run. Could anything have been more obvious than a 3-run shot by Stargell as the Orioles are up 4-0. And this is how quickly the fates can change here. Here's Davey Johnson. He had the lone hit yesterday, breaking it up in the no-hitter up in the 8th inning. And another hit into the gap for a double in right center field. That's Davey Johnson's 4th double of the season. Somebody has to take this abuse, and so far it's Grant. He's given up 5 hits. I feel like even if we took him out, somebody else is going to get pummeled, so we just have to sort of play it out here as Brooks hits a ground ball to short. Johnson going to third, up 4-0, why not? And that will bring up the 8th batter in the inning, Dave May. I almost want to walk him to get to the pitcher, but we're down 4 already. Another run's not going to kill us as May pops it up. So Lund makes the catch, just making sure. As moguling goes, it would not have surprised me that Lund would make an error there. We go to the top of the second inning. We're down 4-0. And Tommie Agee will lead off. Agee batting .250, no home runs yet, and he strikes out. First K from McNally. There's 1 down. That will bring up Jerry McNertney. We gave him a day off yesterday. I think he had started most of the games. Well, I guess we're at game, what are we at now, 13? So, yeah, he started 11 of the 13 games. He pops out to second for the second out. And Wayne Comer strikes out. Wow. Okay, so we go to the bottom of the second inning. The pitcher, Dave McNally, leading off. You know, despite giving up those 4 runs, Mudcat Grant's only thrown 19 pitches. McNally, sharply hit ground ball to second. Play made by Stanley, 1 out. We're back to Jim Fregosi, who just absolutely hits a frozen rope into left center field bleachers for a 5-0 lead. That is Fregosi's 3rd home run. And it looks like the Orioles have figured something out here. Yeah, Joe Torre gets another one. So yeah, this is kind of how it goes. You throw 27 consecutive scoreless innings, and then you can't get through the game, you know. That is the third home run for Torre, a ground ball to third. Somebody's got to pitch this game, so Mudcat Grant's going to wear it here for a minute. It's almost like I would rather give up, 20 runs to even out our run differential and lose just the one game than to have them absolutely club us like baby seals for, another series. We go to the top of the third. Gordy Lund leading off. And a base hit to right. There's our first hit of the day. Lund desperately needed a hit, getting his average up to 188. I was thinking about trying to bunt here, but we're down 6 runs. I mean, there's no point in trying to be scrappy. Got to put something together here. Ground ball to third. That could be around the horn. It is, as Brooks does what he does best. That's play some D. So 2 quick outs, and Mudcat Grant a ground ball to first. So we did get a hit. We go to the bottom of the third inning with Willie Stargell leading off. Grant's given up 3 home runs so far today, and he walks his first batter. So Pops is on first. Here's Davey Johnson, a ground ball in the hole at second. And Stanley, despite being poor defensively at second base, does initiate the double play. 2 down. Here is Brooks Robinson, and Robinson will get a base hit into center field. That is 8 hits against Grant. And a sharply hit ground ball from Dave May to short, and that'll do it. So we do manage to keep the Orioles off the board. We go to the top of the 4th inning. Now, we are capable of putting 6 runs on the board. So let's see if we can't get something going here at the top of our lineup with Tommie Harper. Harper hits a ground ball to Boog, and Boog makes the play. 1 out. Mike Hegan hits a line drive into right center field. It gets down into the wall for a double. Good job by Hegan getting a lefty hit. His 3rd double of the season. So we have a runner in scoring position now for Rich Rollins. Rollins has been quiet this series as McNally walks him to set up a double play possibility. That was one of those intentional walks, I think. So here's Tommie Agee, looking for him to do something big for us, and he pops it up. Definitely Don Mincher would have been the better person to keep at this point in that trade that we got from the Mets. First and second, 2 down. Here is McNertney. 0 for 1 today, and a ground ball base hit. Hegan has to hold as I didn't get through deep enough into left field for him to score from second. So that'll bring up Wayne Comer. Comer really struggling at this point. 143 hitter, full count, and he pulls it to left for a base hit. That'll score 2. Oh, we're going to send him to score 1. And he is safe at home. 6-2 now on the 2 RBI single for Comer. Nicely done. Okay, so here's Gordy Lund now. Lund got the first hit of the game for the Pilots. 1-0 count, and he pounds it into the dirt. And the play is made by Torre for out number 3. So we get a couple runs back. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning. The pitcher, Dave McNally, leading off. I think we should leave Grant in there to at least get the pitcher. Ground ball up the middle for a base hit. Oh, no. All right, well, I think we let Grant get to the lefties, and then we're done with him for today. He just doesn't have it. 9 hits on 6 runs, 3 home runs, and a walk. Fregosi, ground ball to short. Can we turn 2? Yeah, there's an easy double play with the pitcher running. That's our second DP today. Joe Torre up 2 for 2. He's got a home run, and he laces it to center where Comer makes the grab. So that will probably do it for Jim Mudcat Grant. I don't. He doesn't have it today. We'll bring in our well-rested relievers. Okay, so we go to the top of the 5th inning. Jim McNally at 58 pitches. Here's Fred Stanley leading off. And a base hit to center, so that'll work out well. We're going to hold Stanley to a base hit. Grant will come out. We're going to bring in a pinch hitter, Danny Walton. Danny Walton, he is our number 1 prospect, according to the game. He's 0 for 5 on the year, and he has walked once. We got him in the expansion draft from the Houston Astros. Okay, Danny Walton, he's got some power, 88 rated power. Let's see what he can do here with an opportunity. Popping it up. They pulled the Brooks Robinson in, thinking we'd lay down a bunt. They were wrong, but they get the out at second. So Stanley on first, 1 down. Here we go back to Tommie Harper. He's 0 for 2 today. And a ground ball slowly hit to second. Too slow to get the double play as Harper beats it out. So 2 down. Harper on first for Mike Hegan. Hegan had that double. Kind of got the rally going last time. And he strikes out here on a curveball under his wrist. So we bring in a reliever. We're going to bring in John Morris to face these 2 lefties, but he's got to get past Frank Robinson first. His 8th appearance. 6 1/3 innings. He's walked 6. Struck out 2. That is par for the course. He does have a 90-mile-an-hour fastball, only rated 82. The 27-year-old lefty goes to arbitration at the end of next year. So here's John Morris facing Frank Robinson, 0-2 count. And Robinson goes the opposite way for a base hit. Leadoff man is on. 10 hits for the Orioles after just 1 yesterday. Boog goes the other way for a hit. First and second, nobody out. And Willie Stargell, this will be the last batter for Morris. And he walks him. So the bases are loaded. In comes Jerry Stevenson. Stevenson making his 5th appearance in relief. No record, 2.25 ERA. 6 Ks in 8 innings pitched. Opponents are betting 214 against him, a 93-mile-an-hour fastball. But his screwball is his out pitch, rated an 81. Fastball is just below average. Overall, only rated a 74. The 25-year-old righty, arbitration eligible at the end of the year. Okay, well, this feels like a disaster waiting to happen. We're going to play back, try to get a double play. Davey Johnson popping it up to second. Stanley making the catch. We will pull third base in here. Rollins will pull in case Brooks hits a ground ball to third. Maybe we can get a double play going home. If not, we'll give up the run for a potential double play anywhere else in the infield. Ground ball, base hit. That'll score 2. Oh, no, I guess Powell wasn't running, playing it cautiously as Brooks gets the RBI. It's 7-2. That run goes to John Morris. All right, bases loaded. Here's Dave May. Now we're just going to play straight away. We don't have any speed on the base path, so anywhere could be a potential double play. Ground ball to second, and there it is. So we do manage to only give up 1 run. We go to the top of the 6th. We're down 5, 7-2. Rich Rollins leading off. Ground ball to first. Powell gets out number 1. Tommie Agee up next. There's a base hit for Agee, getting his average up to 261. 1 down, runner on first. McNertney walks. Second walk issued by McNally, which will bring up Wayne Comer, who drove in both of our runs. So maybe Comer's got another RBI in him here. 2-2 count. And he gets a base hit to center. Agee will score easily. Oh, maybe not so easily. We're sending him anyway, and he does score. So let's give Comer an RBI, and his average is up to 200. We'll get that run back. I guess we have to let Gordy Lund hit here, right? I mean, what are our other options, really? If we had a right-hander in there, we'd be all right. Well, we're going to let Gordy Lund take a cut. Gordy, ground ball to short. That could be 2. It is. That's a bummer. We go to the bottom of the 6th, down 4 now. Dave McNally leading off. Going to keep Jerry Stevenson in there. McNally popping it up to second. 1 out. And we're back to Jim Fregosi. Take a look at the box score. 4th time through the lineup. And Orioles definitely making up for yesterday's ball game with the hits. Fregosi up next with a ground ball to second. 2 down. That will leave it up to Joe Torre. He's got 1 of the 3 home runs today and a base hit through the right side. Torre's 3 for 4. Runner on first for Frank Robinson, and Robinson scorches it to right. Harper making the catch. We keep him off the board. We go to the top of the 7th. We're still in this ball game. Here's Fred Stanley leading off. Stanley 1 for 2. And a base hit to center. There we go. Stanley 2 for 3. We'll pull Stevenson out. He did a good job. Now, we have 2 right-handed options. We have Freddie Velasquez and we have Ray Oyler. Both are 65 and 62 rated. Do we dare just try to pinch hit a left-hander here? Let's see. Does anybody have any hits versus lefties? So Ray Oyler's batting .250 versus righties. I mean, it's kind of pathetic. That's where we're at. But these are our only options. So we're going to pinch hit Ray Oyler. I mean, would we be better letting the pitcher bat? Here's Ray Oyler. We are going to let him take a cut. 1-2 count. And he strikes out. Oh, man. Okay. Predictable. Stanley on first. Here's Tommie Harper with 1 down. And a ground ball to first. Can't turn 2. Maybe I should have just bunted with Oyler. Here's Jim Hegan. And Hegan pops out. We're going to the bottom of the 7th. Okay, we are going to... We're not going to use Oyler on defense. We will bring in a reliever. We got 2 lefties coming up. So that's Ron Locke, who came in the 9th inning yesterday and did lock it down. Got a save his first career save. Pitched really well in a tight jam, and he earned my respect for that. So let's see how he does today. Facing Boog here in the 7th. A line drive right at Hegan, who snares it for out number 1. Willie Stargell up next, and he laces it off the left field wall for a double. That sucks. Third double on the season for Baltimore anyway. And he's in scoring position for Davey Johnson. We're going to leave Locke in there to pitch here. And a wild pitch moving Stargell over. We're going to bring the corners in to prevent that run from scoring. Otherwise, I guess we have to relinquish it. Oh, nice screwball by Locke to strike out Davey Johnson. We're going to intentionally walk Brooks Robinson to get to May, the lefty, who's 0 for 3 today. Okay, first and third, 2 down. Dave May hit today so far. And a ground ball to first. That should be out number 3. It is. Good job. We go to the top of the 8th inning. McNally hovering around 100 pitches. Rich Rollins leading off. See if that changes the momentum at all. Rollins grounds out to first. Here's Tommie Agee, 1 for 3 with a K today. Ground ball to Brooks. 2 quick outs. Wow, we were just swinging that time up. Only 6 pitches we took in that inning, so not great. Not good. That's kind of what you come to expect. Okay, we're going to take out Ron Locke. Good job by him. And we're going to bring in Mike Marshall to get an inning of work. We haven't seen him a ton. And he hasn't been good. He's given up 4 runs in 5 innings as our supposed closer. Mark Belanger is going to pitch hit for McNally. Light hitting, good defensive shortstop. Strikes out. Good job by Marshall. A lot of the pilots throwing that screwball. Jim Fregosi's not fooled. Gets a base hit to the left. His second hit today. Runner on first for Joe Torre. And a base hit. Wow. Mike Marshall. Not great. We are going to 16 hits by the Orioles, so they are well making up for yesterday's game. We're going to play back, try to turn 2. At this point, giving up a run doesn't mean anything. Robinson skies it into shallow left field. Looks like Stanley makes the catch. Lund. And now we've got the lefty, so Marshall's just going to have to make do here against the left-hander. And a line drive to the left. Wow, we get out of it. We go to the top of the 9th inning. We have our winning streak on the line. They're going to bring in Dick Hall. 38-year-old right-hander. In his 7th appearance of the year, 0-0 with a 2.57 ERA, 5 Ks and 7 innings pitched. He has 4 saves, so I guess he is their closer. 89-mile-an-hour fastball, ground ball percentage, right around 51% of the time. Fastball is the only good pitch he's got, rated an 87. Actually, the curveball is a 79, so it's average. Overall rated an 84. Okay, so we're going to let Wayne Comer bat since he's been our entire offense today. Normally we'd bring in Hovley. But Comer's feeling it. Oh, and a base hit that gets past Boog. So Comer's easily our player of the game today. Runner on first. Here's Gordy Lund. Lund 1 for 3. It's good to see the bottom of our lineup doing something. Strikes out here, though, for out number 1. Here is Fred Stanley, who strikes out. So we're down to this. Steve Whitaker will pinch hit. He's got a pinch hit home run. And 2 down, runner on first. Steve Whitaker pops it up. And that should bring a close to our 7-game winning streak. It does. The Orioles win 7-3 on 16 hits. Probably could have been worse. We gave up 6 in the first 2 innings. And then just 1 after that. So we take the loss. They are thinking about possible trades. Thinking some more. Mulling it over. Chewing on the fat. Okay, so let's take a look at the standings. Well, we still are in first place. Oakland, who we will face in a couple series, I guess, has won 2 in a row. Baltimore and New York are now tied. Out of curiosity, we'll look at the National League. Montreal somehow still holding on to first place. How's Don Mincher doing for them? Oh, no, it wasn't Mincher that we sent over there. Who was it? I've already forgotten. Greg Goosen was one of them. And the pitcher, was it anybody? I guess not. I can't remember. Nonetheless, they're doing pretty damn good. Let's take a look at the Brainiac Baseball Daily Beat. Here's the headline news. There we go. 7-3 win. Puts the Orioles in first. And you can see they talk about people doing good jobs. That's it. Let's take a look at transactions. Okay, we have a couple updates finally. The White Sox are going to lose Joe Horlin, one of their starters, for 23 days due to an ankle fracture. And also Rogelio Morey of the Red Sox is going to miss a week in single A, so no big deal. Okay, let's pull up the box score and get out of here. We got to get back to our team. Player of the game, it's pretty easy. I think it's Wayne Comer. He had 3 hits and 3 RBI. Drove in all the runs today. So we give him props for that. I'm not mad at Mudcat Grant. Somebody had to bend over. And unfortunately, it was him. He gave up 6 runs on 3 home runs. He did get his first strikeout of the season. Bullpen did their job, with the exception of John Morris, who couldn't get an out. McNally goes to 3-0, as you might expect. Dick Hall pitched an inning in relief. There's your 3 home runs. So, okay. Quickly, who are we playing next? Oh, yeah, it is the Sox. So we go to Comiskey, plays the White Sox starting tomorrow. Until then, everyone, have a great night.